everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome back to our Going Through the Dice Tower Library shelf by shelf. We're on shelf 8A, and now we have a focus shift from what we've been seeing before because we're back into straight up Euro game territory. And this is a different size box. I call them the Aliyah size boxes. In fact, you'll see some numbered Aliyah games here, but not all the numbers because there's a lot of Aliyah games that frankly suck. But let's take a look at the ones that made this shelf here. So first of all, we have on the side here, we have the Colonists. So the Colonists is a game that I gave a 6 to when we reviewed it. I remember that specifically. I wonder if it would be an 8.5 played in the right way. And you think that might be odd, but here's the deal. The Colonists is too long. It just is. There's 4 ages, 5 if you foolishly buy the expansion. And each age takes forever, but you have to play all 4. You could skip the first age, but then you wouldn't feel like you build up to where you're at. But the game itself is so good. The main reason I knocked it out is it's just so long. If they could somehow shorten the Colonists, I think it could end up being one of my favorite games. So it's in there. I would try it, but whew, we got to have 3 hours plus to play it. Then we have 2 copies of Stone Age. Is that because Stone Age is super popular? No, it's because I don't know which one to keep. So I put them both in there. We have the Stone Age Anniversary, which brings a winter board. And you know what that does? It shows you a picture of snow. And I think there might be one other change, but no one cares about that. Then we have the original one, and I have both upgraded to the Gills, which is why they're both in the library. But we will probably go down to 1. But it's a good game. You should definitely check it out if you've never played it. Then we have Brew Crafters. Brew Crafters should have the tagline, Agricola Wannabe, because that's what the game is. It was from Dice Hate Me Games, and that box doesn't look very big, and it should be, because when you open it, it's going to explode in your face like one of those cans with a snake in it. But in this game, you are brewing beer. You are going through all the steps. It's a really tight game. It's probably a little too tight, frankly, and I think that's one of the reasons it wasn't as popular. But it does have a lot of similarities to Agricola, but hey, maybe you want beer instead of grain. Or wait. Anyway. The Princes of Florence is next. This is an old game that was very popular because there weren't many other games for it to compete against. I jest in some ways. I enjoyed it the first time I played it. As time has gone by, I'm not as excited about it because it feels very dated. It has auctions, and you can really mess up an auction and lose the game. But a lot of people do enjoy it. And then next to it's the game that kind of supplanted it, Puerto Rico. I have 2 copies of this because I have that really nice deluxe one. We may go down to 1 copy of Puerto Rico at a point because I don't think a lot of people play it these days, but it is a classic game. I really enjoy it. Now next to that is a game that does get played a lot, and that is the Castles of Burgundy. I have 2 different versions of it. I don't actually know the difference between them. They're probably not tremendously different. One is probably slightly less boring looking than the other. But despite this game looking like it was designed to chase people away, it really is a fun game. There is dice placement, and it's one of the few games that people who hate dice will play, even though dice are through this game. This is like a gateway game for getting Eurogamers to play Ameritrash. Not really, but I wish it was. All right, then we have the Castles of Tuscany. This is the new game that was supposed to be the sequel to Castles of Burgundy, but everyone who plays it says, why aren't we playing Castles of Burgundy? I don't know. I haven't played it, so I don't know, but that's what I've heard. So it only gets 1 copy. Then we have Notre Dame. This is a terrifyingly bad game. It's not. It's a good game, but I hate it. But I know a lot of people really like it, so I put it in the library. But if you don't like rats, don't play it. Then we have Trajan. This is the most thematic game. I can't even say that with a straight face. This is the least thematic game in existence. It is a game about Trajan, I guess. But in this game, you are scoring points in so many different ways. This game should have been called Point Salad because when you hear people talk about Point Salad and Stefan Feld, and if you haven't noticed, this is the Stefan Feld shelf, this is a really solid game, but it is definitely mechanics first over theme. But very, very popular. Next to it's in the Year of the Dragon. Are you having a good day and you want to have a down? Play in the Year of the Dragon. It will crush your dreams. It is a mean game. I talked about Notre Dame, the rats in it, and it has some negative stuff. In the Year of the Dragon, that's what the whole game is about. So if you like that, you'll like this. You might guess my opinions of it. Bora Bora. This one should have the tagline, Trajan Wannabe. This is Feld's follow-up to Trajan, and there's a lot of similarities to it. It's actually a prettier game than Trajan by a mile, but it's very point salady. It's a fine game, and again, I put it in there because a lot of people like it. Now, I was kidding earlier when I said that the Castles of Burgundy is an ugly game. I meant Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem here. In fact, this is the ugliest shelf in my collection, probably. My word. Anyway, maybe that's in Feld's contract, that his games have to look ugly. But Carpe Diem, again, very highly rated game. I was just at a gaming event this past week, and people were playing it. A lot of people like it. I haven't played it. I keep meaning to. But now, folks, I do want you to understand, I've been jesting about a lot of these games here. Feld's games are good. They're in this library for a reason. All the games in this shelf are very interesting and fun. My favorite is Puerto Rico here, which incidentally is not a Feld game. But I do get that people love Feld games, and that's why they're in the library. These aren't the only ones. You'll see more as time goes by. But that's another shelf in the Dice Tower Library. I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching the Snarky Dice Tower.